Welcome back to the latest edition of Real Bench Romans FC. And this week was the international break, so not a lot happened between the leagues, but there's still like some scandals going on that we want to talk about today. I feel like we have to start with the international break, just talk about some of the games, some of the stuff that's happened. Rashford not coming to the camp. Mbappe is the captain now of France, so there's also that. There's many more things we're going to talk about, but yeah, let's start with the Mbappe situation.
So obviously they made Mbappe captain. I wouldn't imagine that senior players in the team are going to be happy about that. A.K.A. Griezmann. He's the one that was really pissed off about it.
Wasn't too happy.
Yeah.
I feel like the Mbappe captaincy came out of nowhere. And it's just adding on to like making this kid more of a brat in a way. Like, where has he shown his leadership?
World Cup. Mbappe is the reason that they fought in the, not just performance-wise, even mentality. If you watched how he carried France this last World Cup.
But that's different though, carrying the team and performing like to the highest level and having traits of a leader in the team is different to like he's not a Michael Keane, you know.
Yeah, Michael. You mean Roy
Keane? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was like, Michael Keane.
Michael
leader.
Keane
from Everton. The center back. I don't know if he's a leader.
But what I'm saying, like, he's not gonna talk to you. I've never even seen Mbappe talk to players and like cheer them on, like, hey, let's go, guys.
Sometimes you have to also realize that in a team there are two types of leaders. Like we've seen the Messis and the Maradonas be captains. That's because everyone knows how good they are and everyone's playing for them, regardless of if they're yelling or doing anything that a captain should do. And then you have your Roy Keanes. But I mean, 24 is a little crazy.
Griezmann has a point.
You think so?
First of all, I wouldn't even make Griezmann a captain. I don't think he has that. Griezmann. Let's talk about him without Mbappe. I don't think I could make him a captain.
Griezmann plays for the team. He's like,
no man, that's not what makes him a
Griezmann plays
captain.
for the
Though.
team. He does what the coach like. You can tell he's disciplined. Like he listens to what the coach says and listens to vision and plays every possession as needed.
That's a problem, man.
How's it a problem?
Would you make Valverde captain of Real Madrid?
If I could, I would. That's
You
such
would?
a good point. I would make Valverde a captain.
When Ramos was there, would you have made someone like a Varane or a Casemiro, who's doing all these works unrecognized for the team, over Ramos, who's actually like the main?
But you've never tell me one time you've seen Mbappe like talk to the players and try to like get them going.
You can lead without having to yell, you know.
And in the
That's
locker, we don't even know what
we don't know what's
happens.
going on.
The boy is a leader. I saw it in the pitch in the World Cup many times, and it's not just the performance on the ball. I think the guy's not being given a chance because he's young and he has a big head and he's arrogant. But even the speech that he gave after, Griezmann said what he said about him.
It was leader
Chic.
you know.
But there's always like stuff going in the friends camp. There's always
some drama.
Yeah,
there's always some drama.
Talking about leadership, we have a new leader in England's top goal scorers, Harry Kane.
Not surprised.
You know, I mean, he's clinical as he can get. But my big problem with him is, as much as he's going to get all these highest goal scoring records, he's never going to win anything. Southgate is England's manager. He plays for Tottenham. All these goals don't matter. They're
That's
like Alan
true.
Shearer's goals. We just remember, oh yeah, this guy scored this many goals and that's it.
Do you think that they might not have a chance with the Euro? What you call?
Euros, I don't think so.
They beat Italy.
So it's Southgate.
It's
Southgate.
Italy, let's be honest, it's kind of washed up right now.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty easy to beat Italy.
And Italy's kind of just echoing that. Italy is in and out of like form, especially in the qualifiers. When they make a tournament, Italy, to me, since being a child, even 2006 when they won the World Cup, they've been a tournament team.
Yeah.
They know how to play well once they're in the tournament, but getting into the tournament is always a problem
It's
for
tricky.
them. So I don't like them beating Italy for the first time since 1961. Doesn't matter to me.
Thank you.
Let's see it happen in Euros. If they can beat Italy in the Euros, yes, I'll go. Okay, Harry Kane might win something finally.
Okay. Another top performer in the international break has been Saka.
Oh yeah.
No, you thought I was gonna say Lukaku.
I thought you were going to say Lukaku. I was about to say top performer.
No, Saka. I just want to throw that in there. He had an assist today and he scored.
today,
A
yeah.
And
little
apparently he
It's
has
nice.
the most random fact, but he has the most successful dribbles in the EPL right now.
Really? Saka?
Yeah, the top.
What
top
kind of
the chart.
dribble?
That's where I was going to ask. Like,
Alright, successful dribbles, I think, is getting past someone. It's not like necessarily
Yeah.
just not losing the ball in that dribbling session that you have, moving
Okay.
positively.
because that's a.
Yeah, but I mean, it's questionable. It's a questionable stats, but he just has it though right now in the EPL. So
Nah,
good for him.
he had a nice banger today and had an assist to Kane. He's a performer.
He's showing that he can and will become the world-class player that many didn't see at the start. Remember when we were talking like England's new star boys? It was Madison, Grealish, Foden, Rashford. Saka was like at the bottom at least.
Low-key, yeah, he
You know?
was. Yeah, nobody was really counting him in there, except for Arsenal fans.
Yeah,
you know,
which
they
they
were
have
the one.
to.
But what you call there was another top performer, Lukaku. He's got a hat trick. Come on, it's a hat trick. A hat trick is a hat trick.
Lakaka.
Lakaka.
I mean,
Come on.
guy shows up when it doesn't really matter all that much.
It's
You
the
know what I mean?
qualifiers.
He could have done the same thing in the World Cup and he didn't.
That was tricky. There was a
He's
lot of
getting
pressure.
old. He's getting
There was a lot of-
You could give him that excuse. The thing with Lukaku is he's just, I don't know yet, still, after all these years, if he's a world-class player.
Come on.
He argues that he has world-class moments,
Yeah.
world-class seasons. That season at Inter.
That season.
He was unstoppable.
We cannot
Yeah.
forget that. Was it Everton? Lukaku?
Everton, he had a nice
He was
little
nice.
West
He
Brom
was
too. He even had a
good.
nice spell at West Brom. I remember like Fergie's last game, we were winning the game 5-2. Lukaku
Came
turned Ferdinand like he had never played football before. Like he has moments where you're like, wow, what a striker this guy
player, yeah.
is. But then we see the World Cup, miss open net, miss first chance. We see Inter, his funniest goal that goes around the season. Have you seen that one where he shoots, keeper blocks it, he's falling down on his face, hits him in the back of the head? Like, bro,
I feel like
come
the
on.
internet turned him into a troll. Which he wasn't.
He
It's
wasn't,
the internet's
yeah.
fault, and also with the stuff that he says
I was
online.
about
He
to
kind
say,
of
yeah, he makes
Yeah.
it happen.
Yeah.
If you do things in the pitch and then people start talking outside, but then you prove them wrong, you can still save yourself. He started missing
Yeah.
and getting fat and all. So
So that don't help.
Don't
Yeah.
don't sugarcoat it.
Man saying like it is.
yeah.
All right, Rashford didn't come to the camp. What's going on with that?
You know, to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you. It's either he
I
picked
feel
up-
like Ten Hag has got something to do with it.
yeah.
Mm.
There's. I mean, he almost picked up a knock in that last game
Okay.
for us against Fulham. There was a point where he was limping and not acting right. So maybe there's a little injury there. But in all honesty, in this season, where they've played 3 games every single 3 days, a game every 3 days, like it doesn't make sense for players to actually commit to going to international camps after freaking World Cup. You played a month, and then now you're back to the stresses,
Yeah,
you know?
that's true. I saw also who's this guy from Netherlands, De Jong. He didn't
De
go
Jong
to the
didn't go,
camp, and
yeah.
Depay was kind of upset about that. But like I feel like it's a qualifiers. These players gonna go they want to play in the Euros, but you gotta work to that point. You can't just like come and eat, bro. If you ain't part of like you know.
I mean, but
Here's the point.
you've got to take this with like, think from the player's perspective. These guys are overworked, and sure they're paid well for it, but they're overworked. Man.
They are.
Your body cannot keep doing this season after season. Since COVID, they've basically played. If you're in a good team, you're playing 60-something, 70 games a season. Then you got to go play international games. Like, that's why Varane retired this season. He's like, I can't keep doing this nonsense and getting injured over and over again just
True.
because I want to play for France. Now, I've won the World Cup. I don't need to prove anything else.
good.
You know?
Yeah, how do you feel about Southgate's comments?
You know,
Which he kind of came back and
I'm mad
yeah.
about the fact that he came back with that. Because I was waiting for today. I was like, oh, you said some nonsense, Southgate. But, I mean, in all fairness, even to the Rashford's point, has every reason to not want to be in Southgate's camp. Southgate doesn't play him as well as he plays.
Mm-hmm.
His form is crazy this season. Southgate comes out and says, "Oh yeah, we don't really miss Rashford, the
'Cause
best English player this season in every competition, the best. 27 goals and what? How many assists?"
Saka has something to say about that. Kane has something
Saka
to
is
say about
close. Kane is definitely close,
Yeah.
and Kane is probably the best all round.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
but
about to
we're
say.
talking just form this season.
Yeah, not
Who's been the
massive,
most
yeah.
unstoppable this season? And he doesn't get into the starting lineup in the World Cup. Every game he played, he scored. He scored 2 in 1. Like, explain to me how Southgate has the balls to go out and say, "Oh yeah, we don't really miss him." Obviously, he had to backtrack today and say, "Oh no, we do." But what I'm saying is,
A
nah.
pinch of salt. Like, I mean, maybe he's salty because in the World Cup, yes, he didn't play him, and then coming out from that, Rashford has a crazy season, which means there's something you as a coach that you didn't recognize.
Fact.
So like failing to do that, and then also Rashford's not being willing to come to the camp to like kind of save himself. So
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't come out and be like, "Oh, Rashford, we love you." You know what I mean? But yeah, it's coming from a place of probably being hurt or like, salty, basically. That's all I
Yeah.
can say about that.
I got a question for y'all with Southgate. I was talking to some guys about this yesterday. Should we like we have control over this. Should England
Stay with him.
stay with them or fire him and go get someone like Conte, which we'll talk about later, or Zidane, who's not had a job for a while? Someone who we know can win something and has proven that they've won. Not a Crystal Palace ex-player that missed a PK in an important game in 1996. Get someone that can win and put them in that place and see how England can actually use the potential they have. Because they have players.
Okay, I am one of Southgate's biggest haters, like in this world. Like for real, I hate what he did 2018. Like the way he literally drained all the talent from the team and threw it away. It's like I want the absolute basic that you can do.
Facts, bro.
But you can in England you just cannot bring a coach from outside the country. There's just no way. You know how the media, you know how the country is.
Proud.
They need maybe not Southgate, but they need someone of their own, like who can lead the camp and all that. And I will say he's bringing results. How far did England go this World Cup? Was it quarters?
Semi-finals, I think. No, quarters.
Quarters.
Because he lost to France, right? Yeah.
It wasn't a convincing run.
It
by the
wasn't.
way.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best run, right?
For sure. But they did get there.
They went there. So I feel like eventually it's gonna start coming together, like with longevity. The players it brings all together. It's gonna come together. It's not gonna be the prettiest thing to watch. I'll give you that. It's awful to watch. It's like the worst kind of coaching. But you said it yourself way back that like it's tournament football. You don't need to come pretty.
True.
Do the job and leave.
But you can do the job and forget the pretty part, right? I don't have a problem with Southgate not being pretty. One of my favorite managers in history is Mourinho. We know he's not pretty. He's not explicitly pretty. If he's got to be ugly, he will be ugly.
Yeah.
But with Southgate, he's purposefully blind to the amount of talent and form that England have for people who aren't that. Maguire gets into the team. Stones is injured half the season, gets into the team. You got Tomori, White. His excuse for White is, we looked at him as a right back.
Yeah.
By the way, White has played as center back, CDM, right back, left back his whole career. He's the most versatile center back I've ever seen in my life. But he's only a right back. Trent doesn't make the team. Even if you're playing a 3-5-2, you've already covered all Trent's flaws. He doesn't have to defend. Put him in the team and let him play at the right wing back where he can actually create for your team. The problem is you don't have to be pretty, but at least are you using the best of your options to make it work? The reason why they get knocked out by France, why they got knocked out way back when by Croatia in the World Cup, why they didn't win against Italy, is because the guys on the field are either super good or steady eddies. You need, in international football, you need your team to be filled with mostly good players and then a couple steady eddies. Look at France.
Workers.
Rabiot here and there. Kante here and there.
Don't disrespect Rabiot.
I beg you. We know. You like Rabiot, but it's not all that.
Right now he's depreciated, but topic for another day.
But Southgate though, he's winning over. Eventually, he's winning over like supporters in England. But like you said, he takes away from what the team could do, for the potential of the team.
Yeah.
Like the ceiling of the team comes way down with
because
him.
of him. Yeah.
But
Push.
what if he wins the Euros?
If it wins the Euros, I'll shut up.
Yeah.
Completely. I'll shut up. But I don't think they can do it.
No.
I don't think they can
It's
do
possible. I feel like he's building some sort of community within the squad because there's like continuity. Like it's players. Like he's got the Maguires who they're always there.
Yeah.
They bring their leadership and all that. He's got Kane. Like his go-to. He's got
Definition of
Saka.
leadership.
it. I was about to say Maguire.
Maguire is not a good player, right? But he's a leader.
What? Okay.
Voice and like yeah.
Is it easy to respect a player that you know is not contributing much on the pitch for you as a player?
It's not, right? But the coach trusts him, like there's qualities that the coach sees in him that is like, yeah, I want this. You can bring Tomori in there, but you also can take, like, it's the same thing as Kane versus Ivan Toney. It's like there's no conversation there.
Yeah, there's easily no conversation
Yeah.
with that. With Maguire being a leader, and I guess we can go into United stuff in a second.
Yeah.
But he came out recently and gave some BS interview. Oh, I don't know why anyone criticizes me. I have played 50. I have 50 caps for England. I have almost 200 caps for Manchester United. I've captained the team for 3 years. I'm like, bro, most of that time you've been useless. You've been a virus to our team more than
That's
help.
the problem. The problem is performance. But I guess it's a soccer game. You still want to perform. You can't just be like. That's what used to annoy us. Like when we played, there's like in college too. It's like all these guys who play like crap in the field.
And then they're talking, bro. Oh my god.
Talkers, they're like, yeah, man. Let's. Anyway,
we don't need to get it.
Personal voice.
that's not where we are. Let's keep going. United ownership.
And y'all can give me what y'all think will be the best outcome for United. Right now, we got
Saudi.
3 guys. Saudi is actually out of the
out?
race. So we got Qatar.
Oh,
Qatar money.
Good contender.
Qatar is a good contender. Money, bro. Then there's a guy called Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Born and raised in Manchester, United boy. He wants the community. So for Qatar, it's a business option. For Ratcliffe, it's a let me build the community of United back up. And then there's a third guy that just came in, a Finnish billionaire, I think, or millionaire.
We gotta talk about how like deep are the banks too.
I'll bring that up in a second. The Finnish guy wants to buy only 50% of the Glazers, and then the other 50% let the fans own that. So he's coming in with that Bundesliga mindset that the fans have been crying for because of the Glazers.
Yeah.
So I don't know which one is the best option. With Qatar, obviously, you got the 320 billion or however much they got. They got a lot. They've even told the guy, I forget his name, Sheikh something, that he's allowed to overprice United and pay however much just to get United. Because we know how lucrative United is.
Yeah.
That's why the Glazers have stayed for so long as parasites. Because you get so much money from United just being the owner. So they really want to go in. Ratcliffe, on the other hand, he's basically buying us with debt, just like the Glazers did. Because he's using a business group, Ineos, I think, to invest their money, so borrowing their money to buy United. And he's so emotional into this, which worries me. Because he's like, I'll pay whatever. But bro, it's not your money. How are you going to pay whatever, right? That means we're going to suffer later. And then you have to pay up the Glazers' debt. You know, that's a problem for me. And the Finnish guy, I don't know how much he's got.
That's tricky. I feel like, I know you United fans made yourself to be so much better off than like Qatari money or like all that. Yeah, y'all made of yourselves. Even Gary Neville was talking all this big chatter. It's like, City with their big money or like the Super League, all that. But now y'all see the bag and you wanna.
Your money talks, bro. Everybody got a price.
In all honesty, if you can find somebody that loves Manchester United with money, you're good.
I agree.
So you can't have like too much of any
of either.
Otherwise, you'll be frustrated again.
Yeah. Wait. Remember back earlier in the years, like the guys, I don't know if they own United, those guys.
I know the guys you're talking about. Maybe they need to get some billions and come own us, bro. Fergie used to have these 3 or 4 Arab dudes that would be in the back with their, I forgot what they call it, turbans. in every home game.
Yeah.
They were right behind the players. They were always on camera. And we won every game they were there. And then suddenly when we hit our decline, we noticed they weren't there in the crowd anymore.
Screw this. But yeah, actually, the Sir Radcliffe.
Radcliffe, yeah.
Radcliffe. The problem I was seeing like some stuff online about him is like he's like you said, he's too emotionally invested. It's like a boyhood like dream for him.
Yeah.
It's like how are you gonna handle the pressure? How are you gonna handle like it as a business if you coming in with so much emotions, you know?
Facts.
That passion is what they want to see, though, the United fans.
But
But
here-
passion won't win you trophies. I'll tell you
Exactly. And so here's the thing.
that. Exactly.
I mean, but if you look at Fergie's early days under Martin Edwards with David Gill working as the director, we had the passion of the people who were making the footballing decisions. And Martin Edwards and the Edwards family just provided the money. And obviously they had to have logical conversations and passionate conversations about
Gotcha.
it. But the person with the money should not be the one emotionally invested. Look at Roman Abramovich. See how quickly they fired managers, how like up and down Chelsea's form was. One season, best team in the world. The next season, literally eighth.
So you're
You
saying
know,
you don't want the
I don't
like
want
that.
someone who's emotionally invested. I don't care how deep your bag is. I want someone and I don't want someone like Glazers who's just like soulless.
that don't care.
That don't care about it. They just want dividends and to steal money from the club. I want someone who's like, this is a business opportunity for me, and if I put in everything I've got into it, I will get a lot back.
Okay.
And then trust Ten Hag, hire a technical director and a director of football that's not Arnold or whatever those businessmen are that are absolute BS in football. How you fly to? Sorry, I'm gonna go off for a second. How would you fly to? You've been chasing one player the whole summer. They catch you on camera twice, flying to Barcelona to go and convince the player to come, and the player comes out and says, "I never wanted to go to Manchester United." Like,
What are you doing?
what are you doing, man? Like, look at Boli. He's not been in football business for so long. Murdic flies out to Poland, gets him in a second. That's how you do business. Even if
he
you're
promised a
emotionally
big
invested.
bag.
You
though.
promised a big bag.
Yeah, you know,
But it's still business.
It's
though.
still business. You
One-
gotta do
one
your
time,
business.
One chance.
You got to take your chances. Those guys have missed so many chances. We need owners that have money to come in and go, okay, Ten Hag, who do you want as your director of football? Who do you want here? Okay, sounds good. If you're not winning, in 3 years' time, we're going to fire you and find someone else who will win because we want to make money out of this. But we're not going to just be stealing from the club and leaving you to dry and expect you to do well. You know, that's what I want. I'm just
So
saying.
funny though with this because there's two types of fans. There's fans that are frustrated and want things to change in their team, and then there's fans that are so happy but still are so frustrated and they want things for their team like Bayern.
Yeah.
Why are they changing their coach? Why are we changing anything that Bayern is touching right now?
Hey,
How
that's
do
a
you
big
win
change.
and just obliterate everything and still want to change?
Bayern's a very different. It's run differently,
It's,
and it's
yeah.
that situation. Actually, yeah, let's talk about like Bayern kicking out Nagelsmann.
Nagelsmann.
Yeah,
Nice.
and Tuchel in, which is a good
It's a good one for you.
good investment.
Yeah.
Which we'll
Yeah.
talk about in a second
Yeah,
with
yeah.
City coming up. Tuchel got you in the pocket, bro.
I was worried when I saw that. That's for sure. I wasn't worried about Bayern until Tuchel now is
Eh?
obviously
Well.
taking over. Yeah. Nah, I respect the guy, and you should too.
You should respect him, bro.
Tuchel.
Tuchel
Yeah.
is like,
No, I respect him. No, I was saying you weren't worried before. I'm like, okay, but you see what he done to PSG. I thought you.
They didn't do them that much. PSG, it should have been obliterated way more than they
But
did.
this kid, like Nagelsmann, I
No,
wanted
no,
to see
no,
that.
no,
I wanted
no,
to
no.
see him up against like Pep. I was interested in
see
seeing
how
that
good
battle.
he is,
Yeah.
test himself out.
I was not worried until now.
Hey.
I'm not gonna say that like I was chilling. They were gonna make it through easily.
Yeah.
But I'm actually worried now. That City's gonna make it.
But then he doesn't have that much time to like imprint
Makes-
himself into the team.
And they won
This guy
Chelsea
won
without
Champions League
anything.
the last
That happened with Chelsea,
With
but
the-
Chelsea
an
has
up
done
and up
something like
Chelsea.
that before. So like,
We're talking a team where Chelsea. He didn't have many players. Havertz was his main guy to win them the
It
Champions
was
League.
on a decline actually at the time. It wasn't high.
Yeah, Chelsea needed someone to come in. Bayern is high,
yeah,
and then they have a squad.
they do have a
deep.
squad. They have a deep squad, and he's also German, so he's gonna assimilate
It's gonna
better
quicker.
in there.
Yeah.
But it's also Champions League, fellas. You can't just turn around. I don't know.
Fairy
He's
tale.
done it. But
Fairy
that's
tale. Madrid loses to Chelsea. City lose to Bayern.
yeah.
Tuchel eliminates Chelsea.
Oh, I would love that.
Ooh.
That would be the
Fairy
greatest
that would
story
be
ever.
like a comeback or like
Fairy
best
tale.
revenge,
Well,
right?
we'll
That
see
would
what
be the
happens
greatest
next.
story ever. Let's actually we skipped over Nagelsmann just for Tuchel. Wow, it seems like that's his life lately. Wow. Sorry Nagelsmann. So I've heard two stories, and I'm not sure which one is actually true. I've heard the story that came out of the club.
Yeah.
The one that the director said, I forget, I don't know how to say his name. His name is weird, Hasanovic or something like that. He was saying that they've consistently been in a in and out form in the Bundesliga specifically, and they had lost faith that he could actually
That's
secure
so
that.
early,
Which
bruh.
that I think is absolute BS.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Bayern do this every season and win the league. So what's the fear with a manager like that to go?
You're only losing it one time to like you've been winning this.
You've been winning this for a while. Like you can even
Pride.
suffer and take it.
That's true.
The
though.
pride
That's true.
of
That's
these
true. That's
guys, it's German guys too.
Especially if you're looking shaky in the UCL because
Yes.
8 out of 8.
It could affect. They haven't.
8 out of 8 in the
Yeah.
UCL.
They're the only
1
team-
point behind Dortmund.
They can. There's no reason.
What I heard, I was like looking up stuff or like doing some research earlier. Is that Tuchel was being approached by all these other teams. So they're like, if Tuchel gets up, like maybe goes to Spurs or goes to like Real Madrid or whatever, they're gonna be stuck with Nagelsmann. So they're like, okay, let's make our move now.
okay.
You know?
That sounds more realistic, and they're trying to save face
Yeah,
or
but
something.
that's crazy though. Like that's showing no faith at all on Nagelsmann. But also, Bayern has also tried to like approach Tuchel before, and
This
then
whole thing.
I think he went to Dortmund. No, it was right after Dortmund, but he went
He went to PSG.
PSG, yeah,
PSG offered him a quick
Surely
bag.
there's a few teams that can afford to not show faith in a coach, and Bayern is one of them.
I agree. I agree.
They don't need a savior, my guy.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
I feel like it's something I was saying the other day. I was like, as a coach who's younger or like a younger coach, like how would they affect you as a player? Like, would you be able to play as well under him? What I'm also hearing is like the Bayern, like the players didn't have as much faith in the guy. I feel like he could not command the dressing room as well as he could have.
Rightfully so. It stars.
Yeah,
It
and I heard
does.
like there was some problems with Neuer too. Like
Mhm.
he didn't really get along with him.
I
So.
mean, Mandem went right after woke up skiing and broke his leg. Like that tells you some level of disrespect for your manager, you know.
He's like, screw you, bro.
We'll see. But with Nagelsmann out, there's another big manager who is leaving.
Ooh.
Big man Conte after his big bust up. You know.
Bro, that man has been asking to leave for
He's
forever.
been
He's
he's
been
been
begging.
waiting.
It's like, get me out of here.
I honestly respect that move more than those coaches that try to save a team that's not savable, because it's safe to say that Tottenham are where they are and they will be there for a while. There's
Yeah,
no
that's
amount
tough.
of saving that will save them right now.
So you think Nagelsmann to Spurs?
I don't know, but there has been reports that he's on the short list, and they've already contacted him. Him and Vincent Kompany, two young managers, promising managers, but
Yeah.
two young, inexperienced, so to say, managers. So I don't know how that's gonna go for them. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Nagelsmann to me, I don't know if he would be able to command the dressing. I mean, he could. I was gonna say Company is the one I'm not sure about. Nagelsmann has a better shot at it than Company, because Company is from City, like that interleague rivalry. Not like that's Spurs, like rivals.
Like they could. But I mean, you've got to. I think both sides have their benefits. If you look at Spurs' past, they've had when they've done well, they've had young managers who put their arm around the players and treat them like babies, rather than the Mourinhos and the Nuno Espiritos and the Contes who are like, grow up and play. It's the Pochettinos and the Villas-Boas who let them do whatever they want to do and love them regardless, and then they start playing well. So
Yeah.
maybe they need that. A manager
Yeah,
like that.
we'll see. Actually, like, yeah, Tottenham fans, let us know in the comments, like, what you think, what manager best suits you. Company, Nagelsmann. What's the other option?
I forget who the third guy is,
It's
or
not
someone
fair.
else you want to.
Yeah,
Some guy.
Some guy
Just
you
the
want.
names, you know. But yeah, we'll wrap it up at that for this week. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Be on the lookout. There's more videos that we're shooting. There's fun stuff we'll be throwing out this week. There's like some analysis stuff we'll be throwing out. Just be on the lookout of the page. Real Bench Romans FC. We out.
Take